Hi Tarot Rebels, and welcome to today's video. My name is Michaela, and I am super happy to see you joining us today. I'm going to present you yet another deck. This is the Fantastical Tarot by Natalie Hertz. In the meantime, please remember this is not a tarot reading. This is just a deck presentation if you like, and if you want to book a reading with me, you can either contact me via the details listed down below, or you can watch one of my videos or someone else's videos. Everything is for free here on YouTube, so just choose whatever works for you. In the meantime, please also remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment if you like this deck, if you like this video, if you have this deck, what's your opinion on it. I would love to hear it, obviously, because none of my friends have it. I'm the only tarot reader in my friends group. So without further ado, I'm just gonna put the crystals aside because we don't need them. And let me tell you where I got this deck from. I got it from eBay. As I said, the deck creator is Natalie Hertz. It's a US Games deck. I think you can see it here. The back is the Magician. The front, I think she's the Queen of Wands. We have some really nice bronze detail on the cards, on the back, on the sides. So, the Fantastical Tarot provides a view of the outer reaches of our inner worlds. The remarkable images in this 78-card deck invite us to imagine ourselves in a dream world, a dimension where all of our options are laid before us, waiting for us to meditate upon them and make the best choices in life. So, we have some other details. The deck was printed in Belgium. And this is the ISBN number. This is a tucked box, which is fairly standard for US games. Let me show you, where have I... Okay, this is the Centennial box. As you can see, they look very similar in size. Maybe the Centennial is a bit taller, or maybe I'm just imagining things because I flipped the box open on that side. So this is the backings of the two boxes, and this is the front of them. Okay, I'm gonna put the boxes to the side. So I said the deck, I got it off of eBay. I think I paid £25 for it. It was printed in 1999. It's a vintage-ish deck, so I would say the price is quite low versus what you can get it for from Amazon or other sellers. And let me show you what I got extra in the deck. I got this title card with this beautiful print. I really like it. The back is the back of the cards. As you can see, this is like a really nice bronzy golden edging with this reversible back and this blue hue, like very, very light blue with dark blue. This is one of the title cards, again another of the title cards, and for some reason my deck came with two of the Sun cards, and the Judgment is basically double for each of the cards. It's not a replacement, so I don't know what happened there, but I'm just going to keep them. Okay, this is the little white book that it comes with, sorry. Copyright 1999, US Games Systems, reading using your tarot, and then you have every of the majors. I didn't notice anything in particular different from any of the standard Rider-Waite decks, so this can be used without the book easily. And what else? We have the Daily Draw, the Celtic Cross, and the Venus spread, which I've never tried because I've stopped doing spreads a long time ago. So this spread is for emotional issues. The questioner shuffles and cuts the cards and then selects 5 cards that the diviner will set in the star formation. So basically you have your feelings, what influences you, the emotional block, what's your expectations, and what's likely to happen. So it's really nice. Also, I like this conclusion: tarot does not prophesy the future, it merely guides us. So please keep that in mind if you're using tarot as a divination tool. These are the cards. I'm gonna put them side by side, oops, with the Centennial. As you can see, they are fairly similar in size. Let's see. Yeah, the Centennial still looks a bit like a tiny bit taller, but not by much, so it's not a big deal. This is the Centennial. I think you've seen it before. It has a really nice flex to it. And this is this card. It's slightly thinner, I would say, not by much again, and it feels very buttery. Like, it's a very nice, as you can see, it has a really nice shine to it, really nice gloss. The colors are very vibrant, but they're very, how should I explain it? Like, they're clearly inspired by mythology, by folklore, by legends. Like, this fool looks a bit cartoonish in a way, but very gothic, very colorful, like an harlequin in a way, and it doesn't have the naivete and openness associated with the fool in general, but it's still a very interesting and intriguing design of the card. Everything seems very vivid, especially because of the colors, and the imagery is so compelling in a way that's maybe the Centennial is very tame, right? Look at this magician. It looks like he's on drugs, right? And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. The backs of the Centennial, they're very tame. Again, with this very soft green palette, the colors are muted, and it's one of the reasons I really like this deck. And I think I mentioned in one of my videos that I'm going to replace it if anything happens to it. But then again, this deck is very easily obtainable. I think I got it on sale and I paid like £16 on it, or maybe even less, I don't remember, because it was like a long time ago. And you can see it holds up the through time, like it doesn't break down. And I expect this deck to be the same. Like, I used the Fantastical creatures. I've used it. I used it quite a lot, but I've only had it for like 2 weeks, and I shuffle it every day and I read with it every day. Obviously, this is just my practice. It's not something I do for other people. I'm not sure I'm going to incorporate it for other people, but it's a nice to have. What else can I say? So I did mention the backs are reversible. If that's your thing, that's not my thing. I think the level I'm at, not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying I tend to understand when the meaning of the card is positive or negative, so I don't need to read reversals. Sometimes I do feel the need to read reversals, in which case this will come in handy. I'm sorry, I think that the cards are a bit too glary, too shiny, and they will pick up a lot of the light. So I'm hoping you can see everything. And what else? Oh, another thing I noticed, the art is very freakishly weird in a way. Like, if you look at the eyes of the characters, either they look like they're on drugs, or they look like they have no eyes, or they look like they have their eyes closed in a very interesting way. So that's one of the things that draw me to the deck, and I know it's one of the things that people dislike about the deck. I'm not saying people hate it, but I know from what I could read that there are actually more people that dislike it than people that like it. So that's the thing. I'm just gonna start with the cards themselves and show you each card. So starting with the majors, we have the Fool. One thing I noticed, The Fool isn't numbered because in some decks you can use that card as a 0, as it's in this case, or as a 22, because the numbering starts with 1, 1, 2, 3 until 21, 22. So that's when some people decide to put the Fool at the end of the majors. This Fool is, as I said, very dark, very very gaunt in a way, very skeletal. Is that a word? I don't know. But as much as I like the design of the cards and I like the borders and I like the colors of it, the colors blend in very well. One thing I dislike is this US Games mention here on the side, and it's on every card, which is something US Games does with all of their decks. I'm not mad about it with the Centennial. Probably at the time in 1999 when this deck came out, they didn't think it will become like somewhat of a commodity. So yeah, so that's the Fool. There's no familiar there. There's this interesting spectrum with this Harlequin image, which reflects in the body image of this character here. It's very weirdly contoured in very inhuman ways, and I like it. Does it speak to me about taking a leap of faith, branding new beginnings? No. Does it speak about the insanity of trying out new things? Does it speak about the literal craziness of taking a leap of faith? Probably yes. Probably that was the intention, and that's how I'm reading it. I'm not going to go to the book again because we're 11 minutes in and this is already taking too much time. But I really like the, not necessarily the negative aspect of the card, it's just this new vision, this new perception of the card that's brought to light through this design. Let's move this for sake of the Magician. Again, a card, a very powerful message with this Magician. It feels like he is lost in a trance. He is very one with the spirit. He's very commanding. He's very demanding. He knows what he's doing. He has access to unknown forces and he's employing them, which is very, very, I don't know, the willpower aspect of this Magician is very, very strong in this card, whereas opposed to the Magician in the Rider-Waite in the classic design, it feels standard. Falls flat now, looking at the two side by side. This High Empress. Okay, let me try and see what I can find. She has her eyes semi-closed. She has this kind of a veil on top of her head, and you can see the head goes in a like egg-shaped form. It's about mystery, knowledge, and unveiling things, secrets, listening to your intuition, employing higher beings to help you see things in a different light. Whereas this one, so I can see that she's not using the two pillars. She's not using any of the symbols of the, is this, no, there's no pomegranate in this new design. So this is a very different approach of the card, and I think this is more mystical and more alienating, but in a good way. It's like making you drift away from the common themes you might be aware of and accepting new ones, you know. Whereas this one, again, standard. The Empress, very fiery. I would have seen her as the Queen of Wands. I don't mind it. I like the abundance behind it. It's very sparse, and yet it's very subtle in a way that this one isn't. This is very much in your face, whereas this card is very subtle in the way it talks about prosperity and abundance and growth and fertility in different ways. I'm sorry for the glare. I'm just gonna try and change the lights in a way. Okay, that's a bit better because that reflection was absolutely annoying me. Okay, this emperor. Look at this emperor. He knows what he's doing. He has his hand on his scepter and he knows what he wants to command. He doesn't take no for an answer. He follows his own thoughts and decisions, and I think that's all that he wants. I don't see a specific Aries element to it, whereas here we have the ram on the sides of the throne. But I do appreciate this this emperor because I feel like it's more powerful than the classic version. The Hierophant. Okay, very similar depicted without the servants, or I don't know how should I call them, but somehow this grotesque Hierophant is very, very intriguing in a way that's not necessarily approachable. It's not necessarily... Yes, I do see the traditional aspect because it has the illumination on the crown and then the symbolic Christian symbols on this side of the coat, and then here as well. And okay, I see it. It's not the supportive Hierophant that I'm used to, and it's something I need to learn to deal with, because some people have had the same issue with the Hierophant in the Mariel Tarot, which I've also encountered as well, very difficult to connect with. But then you can connect to this one. It just takes a little more time to develop that connection. The Lover's card, which is absolutely gorgeous. So let me show you. These two people are trapped in this embrace. He feels very wild. She feels very grounded. And in a way, they work together. And I really appreciate this about the card. It's about that duality where you can find both sides of good and evil in yourself and in others as well. And this duality is my favorite aspect of the Lover's card. Here you can see the angel giving his blessing to these two people, which is fine. Some people resonate with this image. Sometimes I struggle to feel the meaning of the card in a reading, but this one is... It hits me like a train. I don't know how and I don't know why, but it's just the colors are so vivid and the embrace, it feels so strong, and I can feel it on my skin right now when I'm thinking about it and talking about it. So the artist did an amazing job at depicting this connection. The Chariot. I don't know how to say it. It's gonna sound weird. Feels underwhelming in a very good way. And why do I say that? Look at the Chariot. Has the cape or the wings, you can take them as you like, tied behind those two poles. They resemble this image as well. You cannot see the two sphinxes or horses or whatever animal usually people decide to put in this card, but you can see this this, I don't know, I want to see it say Angel of Vengeance in this card that drives this chariot to where it needs to go. And I really like this determination in this card. Also, if you haven't noticed, both the Lover's person has a tattoo here, so does the Chariot person. The Strength card. It's one of my favorite cards. I don't know why. Not only in this deck. I just like the meaning of it, and I like the different representations of the Strength card, because it's so engaging to see what other people think of the Strength message, and I really like it in this deck. She doesn't try to, so I don't know, I think it is a woman, maybe I'm wrong. So this person tries to hold the lion close to their to themselves, right? It's not about controlling the lion, it's about soothing the lion in a way. It's not about making it do what you want it to do. It's about cooperating with the wild animal. And I really like the subtlety again in this card more than I like the... Sometimes you just need a slap in the face and you can use this card to represent that. But if you want something that takes you further, you will go to a subtle deck, right? And again, the Fantastical Tarot does that. This is an interesting hermit in a cave down below, just one sliver of light shining down, and the hermit embracing whatever is. I like to think it's knowledge. Sometimes I like to think it's power, internal power to self-reflect and isolate and use it to the better good, to your advantage in a way. But again, it's up to interpretation. Like, we all know the traditional meaning of it. I kind of, again, dislike the very obvious aspect of the card, because here you have the hermit with the lantern seeking the truth, whereas here you have the hermit deep down in a cave where only a sliver of light and hope and whatever can trickle down to him and inspire him. Sorry for the noise. This Wheel of Fortune, again, it might look first time I saw it, I was like, ah, that's underwhelming. But then you look and you see the seasons here, then you see the wheel spinning, then you see it kind of makes sense in a very, very simple way. The Justice card. I like that this Justice card, you have a very subtle scale here. You have the sword and you see the person beaten down and still struggling to find the truth and find the balance and find the honesty and fairness and equality in things. I really like it. The Hangman. Very straightforward this time, not very subtle. Whereas in the traditional deck we have the Hangman upside down, a bit smirking, hanged by its foot, with this ray of light shining from his head, and it kind of signifies that waiting time, that martyrdom that will allow you to transcend to another stage. Whereas this one is like very straightforward, kind of prepping you for the death card that's about to come. And it kind of reminds you that when you decide to sacrifice, when you decide to wait, to put things on hold for others, sometimes you just get left alone and abandoned. That's how I feel about this card. Obviously, it's going to depend on the context of the reading. I've never pulled a card in a daily reading so far, so this is just my interpretation based on the times I shuffle the cards and now seeing it side by side with the Centennial. Moving forward to the Death card, I kind of like that it's a very, how should I put it, very full of intention. Whereas this, you see the death ruling over kings and poor people and children and everyone alike, and being the end all for everyone. Here you see, I kind of see before this death character, this is a side of the painting, of the artwork, where there's a storm and the death tries to go against the storm in a way, and it kind of thing reminds me of the metamorphosis aspect of the card, because sometimes the carbon turns into either coal or diamond despite because of the adversity. And this is the same thing. You transform into something or something else, one thing or the other, just because you push through adversity. And this is what this death card reminds me of. You have to keep going, even if you feel like it's the end for you, like you have nothing else to give. Then that's when you make the breakthrough. Like, if you keep persisting and going against the storm, you will reach your destination. And what is the destination in the hero's journey? It's the temperance, it's moderation, it's balance, right? It's peace in a way, it's equilibrium, right? And here we have the temperance, which has such lovely colors as opposed to the death card, because the temperance has reached that balance. Everything is smooth, everything is uniform, everything is balanced, right? And she doesn't need to worry anymore, and she's stuck in this and I mean, I don't mean stuck as in a bad way, but she's fixed in this moment of peace and reveling in it. Whereas here we have the angel pouring cups, whatever, the devil, and a lot is going on in this card again. Let's look closer. So we have the devil here, and it kind of feels like he's ruling a ship or something, and then he has the two, it's not people, it's demons this time, right? Tied to him, controlling them, right? Whereas here we have the humans, and it kind of makes you feel bad for I always picture them as Adam and Eve, because that's my background, so it's easy to transpose the story in that format. But as here you have demons, you have faceless people that have transformed and transcended the life and into the afterlife, and now they're evil, right? Or at least demonic, or at least grotesque. And the devil is reveling in this. Look at that smirk. Look at that power that this devil exudes. I really like it. It's a very intense card. I'm not sure if it's one of my favorite cards, devil cards, but probably maybe top 5. I don't know. I'll have to sit with it. The Tower. This is a departure from the traditional tower moment, because we don't have the lightning, we don't have the people falling down from the tower. I like the colors. It looks like a rainbow in a way, right? But here is like a proper storm. So what is the story? What is the story? That's what I'm asking, because on one side you have this transforming event that basically annihilates your foundations, and that's the tower in the centennial. Whereas here you have the tower surviving, nothing is falling over, and some kind of a rainbow. It's, to me, this speaks as the after tower, as what happens when the tower moment is over, when you start rebuilding it, or not even started rebuilding, when you've looked at the destruction and thinking, I can do this or that to fix this. And that's something I really like about the card. The Star card, simple, so simple, and every time I see it I get chills, because it's cold and unattainable, but then I get the hope message from it as well. Just because it's unattainable doesn't mean I'm not allowed to dream of it. So yeah, I like it. The Moon. Very, very interesting, because there's a moon in a moon in a moon in a moon, and the moon theme is repeated over and over and over again in this card. As you can see, it's trickled down on this path that actually reminds me of this path, right? And it's again a great reminder of can't believe everything you see, right? The Sun card, as I said, I think I showed you the other card, the double I have. This is the Sun card. What can I say? It's one of the cards I'm not really fond of, not in this deck, not in many others, so I'm just gonna skip. The Judgment card, in a way very traditional. I really like the fact that the art has decided not to include the humans, because I always see judgment as a very personal call, personal awakening, not necessarily worldwide announcement, right? So I do appreciate this depiction. The World card. What can I say? It's the universe. Maybe it would have been better if the creator would have named the World card the universe, as I've seen it in other decks. I'm not upset by it. I'm just saying, just because of the imagery, maybe it would have been better. Moving on to the suits. We have the Suit of Wands. Just gonna go really fast through them, and if I see something, I will point it out. And this in this specific situation, I like the florals around it, because again, it speaks about creativity and passion and life force, and that's the wands for me. The Two of Wands, I like the duality of it, the power of choice, and I don't know, the kind of makes me think of self-reflection in a way. I don't know why. Maybe it's just now, just a moment. This Three of Wands, very, very specific, very, very detailed. The Four of Wands, I think, was it in the Mariel where they had the unicorn as well, or was it in the Suit of Cups of the Mariel? Something like it, but it talks about that aspirational power of the Four of Wands in a way, and I really like it. This Five of Wands, and if you've watched other videos I've made, you know I have this interesting relationship with the Five of Wands, and I really like this juggling aspect of it, because more so than ever, where sometimes the Five of Wands can be interpreted as conflict or play pretend, but in this context, it kind of reminds me of an old saying from my country, where we say, when you put sticks in the wheel and you stop the wheel from spinning. This is what I feel it happens, because sometimes Five of Wands speaks about internal conflict, right? And you trying to juggle too many things at the same time, it only creates conflict within you. Hope I'm making this clear, because I feel like I'm rambling. The Six of Wands, very strict, very to the point. It feels like a winning soldier, but not celebrated by its peers, which is interesting. I will have to meditate with this card, because although this is my favorite representation of the Six of Wands, I'm having trouble connecting with this one. The Seven of Wands, very, very interesting, because it reflects kind of the traditional meaning, but I think I like this one more because of its simplicity, and because of the structure of the design. Here feels more all over the place and not very structured, not very organized, but in this design it feels very what's the word I'm looking for? It mirrors the left and the right, and it feels very balanced. That's the word. The Eight of Wands, I prefer this scene to this one. For the longest of time, I've had trouble connecting with the Eight of Wands in a way that's meaningful to me. But this one, it kind of feels like she's sending the message through the dog, or she's sending the dog with the message, or something in that vein, right? And it does make sense, because that's the message of the Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands. This person seems more in their power, which is good. The Ten of Wands, again, very, very structured and very in their power, so it's something I really like. The Page of Wands, I really like that the people in this deck, they have very angular faces, and as I said, if you look at their eyes, very, very interesting eyes. What else? I think that's it for this one. This is a Knight of Wands I really like because it feels very focused. This one feels a bit more impulsive, but this one feels very focused, and I like this hot energy it has. The Queen of Wands. The King of Wands, which to me, he looks like Dracula or Vlad the Impaler in a way, which always makes me laugh. So yeah, that's a plus. The Ace of Cups, with the butterflies and the dragons instead of flowers, and I think it was lions. The Two of Cups. It's a very nice departure from the color palette from before, because the colors are very welcoming in a way. The Three of Cups is absolutely gorgeous, and even though you don't have three people in this card, I get the carefree feeling from looking at it, so I really appreciate that. This Four of Wands, something else, right? It's very interesting to have two people in this dynamic. I don't know, interesting. When you try to connect with someone and they don't have the mental space for you, that's how I feel the Four of Wands is. And it's kind of like this, a scene like this. The Five of Cups. The Three Cups spilled, the two of them left, the person with the back. The Six of Cups. I like this this depiction more, and I'm going to tell you why. The Six of Cups initially was thought as a card of remembering, a card of the past, a card of nostalgia, right? But the whole dynamic feels weird to me, and sometimes I can only regurgitate if I'm using this deck. Whereas if I'm looking at this card, I can see she's looking in that cup and reliving something from the past. And I do connect with this message more, even though it's more simple than this one. The Seven of Cups, interesting. I like this. The options and the bridge connecting them. The Eight of Cups. This is a departure. The moon is not present and this person is facing us instead of turning the back and moving to greener pastures. And it's something else, because in this energy you see the cups, you see the fulfillment they had, and yet they decided to move on. And in this energy you see them facing you as if trying to understand why you did what you did, with the cups on the floor spilling over, right? It's a different energy. The Nine of Cups. Fulfillment everywhere. Accomplishment. The Ten of Cups. I'm not gonna say it because this is a family-friendly channel. This is the Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. Interesting. I like this. I'm not sure why, but I do like this Knight of Cups. And it has tattoos all over the face, all over the arms. Interesting. Oh, and this is the Queen of Cups, and she's here on the little white book as well with her cup. She seems a bit sad, but I think it's just because how her face is drawn, because she's so gaunt and the eyes are not there. This is a very old King of Cups, very disturbing in a way. That's all I'm going to say. The Ace of Swords. another dragon, I think. And again with the flowers. This Two of Swords. See, and now we have this blindfolded person and this person with no eyes, right? Which one is more powerful? I think you're gonna guess. For me, it's the one in the Fantastical Tarot. The Three of Swords. I like the absence of the heart, because the way the swords are pointing, they do... it's implicitly told that there's a heartbreak, a loss there. And then you have these two flowers here. Again, kind of reminding me of the Two of Cups. And then what happens when the connection breaks? You get the Three of Swords, right? The Four of Swords. This is a different arrangement of the swords, because here you have one more sword and three there on the wall, whereas here you have all of them pointing at the person that's resting. And also, is this a fish? Yep, it's a fish. It's an interesting departure from the standard vision of the card. I'm going to have to look to see what I can connect it with. Again, one of the cards I didn't get in my daily draws. The Five of Swords. I like this solitude of the cards, because sometimes the fives are always about conflict, about growth through conflict, right? And sometimes we're at war with ourselves, not with others. This is just a pretext. Whereas this is the reality. This is how you feel when you're at war with yourself every day. And I think this card represents that in a very, very interesting way. This is the Six of Swords. I like this one more because it feels like the swords are protecting them. Whereas here they feel like all the struggles, all the worries, all the insecurities, we're just carrying them with us when we're moving on to somewhere else, when we're transmuting, when we're trying to move on, right? Whereas here the swords are protecting these people. Again, the dragon and the nice fish here. It's a really nice addition. The Seven of Swords. Again, this person all by themselves. This one feels very smug in a way. It feels like they take pride in being a trickster, a liar, a deceiver, whereas this one has some remorse attached to the emotion of the card. The Eight of Swords. I like this very, very much, because when I first started reading tarot, it was, oh, she can walk away at any time. She only just needs to take the blindfold off and remove the ties, whereas the swords are not preventing her from leaving. Whereas here the swords are flowing in a way like it wants to tell me that they're fake, that they're a figment of her imagination. And once she removes when she takes her hands off her eyes, then she will see that there's nothing to fear. Wow. See, again, what I was saying about that Six of Swords. This is protection. This is not protection. This is threat. And it's about how we perceive certain things in our life and how fearful we feel when it comes to them, because we feel like no one can protect us, not even ourselves, no one else. And I get this feeling, this anxiety feeling from this card, much more than I have it from here. I mean, this one can only be just a nightmare, just a regular nightmare, whereas this one can be overthinking and ruminating and panic mode, flight or fight, right? This Ten of Swords. The best touch of the card is this tear here. I'm not gonna go into much detail, but I really like this card. It's there's no need for any physicality in this card. The pain is so immense. You don't need to stab this person because they're already down and they're already in pain. The Page of Swords. That's a very interesting way of showing the Page of Swords, because it feels like they're very asleep. And the Page of Swords is very sharp, communicative, inventive, focused, driven. That's not the Page of Swords. This Knight of Swords, in return, again with the tattoos, very nice. The Queen of Swords. I like her cape, very green, and it fits with the color palette of the suit. Sorry, not these two. What else? I think there were, maybe I'm wrong, but the ace was very green as well. So yeah. The Knight again kind of looks like Dracula, which I don't mind. The Ace of Pentacles, gorgeous. That abundance is very clear in this card. We have the sunflower and the dragon, the golden dragon. This Two of Pentacles, I always laugh when I see it. And maybe I'm too old, but it reminds me of CDs, compact discs. And it looks like they're shuffling CDs in the air. It's funny, I like it. I don't know. I'm not an artist. So again, with the CDs, this person, somehow I get the impression that they're juggling at a circus and they're like a clown or something. This is a gorgeous Four of Pentacles. I think this person feels more selfish than this one. So I like this. Okay. The Five of Pentacles. So, Five of Pentacles, I think it's one of the card that most people fear when they get, because it talks about financial constraints, maybe feeling abandoned by friends, by family, by your significant other. But here we have the Five of Pentacles, and it's a very, very different story. They're in a, I don't know, tavern, maybe? The pentacles are on top of the fireplace, and they have drinks, and you would think that everything is going well. But if you look at their clothes, they're tatty, and they're very, not necessarily dirty, but they have patches everywhere. So it's a very subtle way of talking, of pointing out the things we don't necessarily see in the first place. Like, these people are obviously in distress. These are not. But you know how sometimes the millennials are accused of not supporting the economy, but then they spend too much on avocado and toast and Starbucks and whatever. And it feels like that. It feels like, oh, you're so poor, how can you afford a glass of wine? But maybe that's the only food, and maybe those people only had money for half a glass of wine and nothing more because the food is so expensive. I think it puts things in perspective in a different way, because you're forced to look outside the picture. You're forced to look at what's surrounding those people to get an understanding of their real situation. The Six of Pentacles kind of feels lazy, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I can understand. It's the same meaning. I like the balance to represent the equal give and take, but at the same time it kind of feels like this person is listening to music and choosing what CD they're gonna listen to next. So yeah. This Seven of Pentacles is actually very, very lush, because to me the Seven of Pentacles talks about growth and investment and trying to be productive and be abundant. And I think this card does it really well. This Eight of Pentacles is absolutely gorgeous. Whereas here you have the standard craft image where you see someone working on their pentacles. You see here someone working on their skill, on refining it. This is very hands-on, but this is very specific in a way. Nine of Pentacles, abundance. This is what's wheat, I think, and the house and really nice flowers. The Ten of Pentacles, gorgeous. I like this with the chest, because sometimes the Ten of Pentacles talks about unexpected windfall, unexpected inheritance or money, and I like the chest here. The Page of Pentacles. Again, the Knight with the tattoos. Oops. This is a gorgeous Queen of Pentacles. I really like her. Holding her coin very, very close. I like her. And the King of Pentacles. I think he is my favorite king. Yeah. Okay. Now that we've gone through each of the cards, let's see how they shuffle. Hope I'm good. Yep, really good. Oops, I missed one. Oh, the Ace of Cups, gorgeous. Let's see. They shuffle really well if you're a bridge shuffler or like a riffle shuffler. What are you? The Tower. See? Tower follows me everywhere. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have here? The Three of Swords. The Judgment. And the Chariot. Okay. Really nice cards. Judgment after heartbreak and moving fast to something else. I like this. What can I say? In a way, the deck, because it lacks the traditional symbols, it's going to be very difficult for a non-advanced reader, unless you want to flip through the book where you can read the meaning and the author's intentions. I do like the cards. I do like the color palette. I think they work well together. Some of the cards are maybe less intentional, like that Six of Pentacles. Some of them are very obscure to me, not in a bad way. It just means I need to sit with them more. I need to understand them better. I need to apply them better to my situation, right? They do feel intense in a different way from the Rider-Waite, because this is a very safe deck. It's not a soft deck by any means, but it's a safe deck. Whereas here you're confronted with people that have blank eyes, right? You're confronted with swords coming at you in every position. You're confronted with accepting your flaws, right? So it does put you on the spot, if you like. I do feel calm because it forces me to sit back and really think of what the card means to me in a way. Like this Three of Swords is the first feeling I get is, oh, heartbreak, yeah, because that's what we're taught. But then the heartbreak is in the clear. The light is shining. The flowers at the bottom, they do represent hope in a way. Yes, the swords are there, the pain is there, but the heartbreak isn't there. It's pain we're carrying with us. But if we accept it and sit in the light of the truth, then it becomes easier to incorporate, if you like, in your life, and easier to grow out of it. It's easier to move on to this judgment phase where you self-assess and then call upon your higher self and upon your spirit guides to guide you, to take you with this chariot where you need to go, because you are driven and you have a mission, and you know that you just need to heal from this pain and accept it and move on. That's all you need to do. Whereas if I would have gotten the traditional cards, it would have been easier to spew the meanings. But I don't think tarot is about just laying it out on the table and say, oh, this and this and that. I think sometimes we need more introspection, and these cards can offer me that if I want to. And I do appreciate the original artwork. I know Natalie Hertz, I know she created some other decks, which I'm not really drawn to, but when I saw this deck, I was like, oh my god, I have to have this. And I just instantly went and bought it because I was so compelled by the art. And I haven't seen any walkthroughs. It was just, I need to have this, and I have it, which is happy days for me. It's a very experimental deck. It's a very experimental experience, if you like, to be able to shuffle it. The quality is super nice, and it has resisted the test of time. It's very buttery, very soft, very sweet. I'm not sure if you can hear this. It's very glossy, but in a very non-bothering way. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it a favorite. I know I say that about almost all my decks, but that's the reality. I think it's a very, very nice addition. And I think it will become one of my personal decks, and not sure I'm going to read with it for other people. Obviously, don't take my word for it. Sometimes I do feel called to read with the Mariel for others, or the Mystical Dream Tarot for others. So miracles can happen anytime. I think that's it. Those are my thoughts on the deck. Would I buy it again? Probably yes. I think it's super expensive. I just got it. I got this in a very good deal, but I think I've seen it with for £100, £200. So it's up to you if you want to pay that price. I would probably, because I really like it. I would love to hear your comments in the section down below, or maybe let me know if you have the deck. How do you use it? Do you pair it with something else? Do you wish you didn't have it? Do you wish to buy it? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear that. And if you want to get a notification every time I upload, please remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel, ring that notification bell, and find me here anytime. Thank you so much for watching this, and I do hope to see you in another video. Bye!